Alrighty. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Nate, and welcome back to another weather forecast discussion. Wow, it's been a while since I've done this, but this is for May 8th, 2023, and we've got a lot of weather to talk about and enough stuff for me to catch up on. So let's get straight into it, but before we get started, please be sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are new. Also, I will be live streaming on my unfiltered sports account, because you can probably tell I've got a Columbus Blue Jackets jersey on, or some form of jersey. You may not know the team, but I just have a jersey on. And we've got stuff that's going to be happening tonight that pertains to this team. And so if you would like to see me lose my mind in an unfiltered way, that means non-family friendly, please join me as we go into all sorts of chaos and that. But anyways, enough of that. Let's talk about weather. Let's talk about the day one convective outlook, which is today. This is Monday, so happy Monday to you all. We do have two areas of 2 out of 5s on the severe weather scale here, one in southern Texas, the other one across the Ohio River Valley into the Ozarks. If you're in those areas, expect some strong damaging winds, maybe some spotty hail, not really too much of a tornado threat. Moving off into tomorrow, Tuesday, we have, once again, same story. We have two 2 out of 5s on the severe weather scale over in the yellows, 1 out of 5s in those dark green. So if you're in those yellows, once again, kind of similar story. A lot of strong damaging winds, spotty hail, not really too much of a tornado threat. But realistically speaking, that's kind of what we are starting to shift into. It's starting to get more into that late spring, into the early summer pattern, to where we just have rapid fire thunderstorms that realistically don't have a high threat for tornadoes, but that'll begin to change once we start to shift on to Wednesday. We start to see that we have a small 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. I fully anticipate this to be not only expanded, but maybe even upgraded to a 3 out of 5 in the severe weather scale, which means the next time you see me on this channel may be a live stream there on Wednesday. So something to watch out for with that. Anticipating the threat for large hail, strong damaging winds, and maybe even a few tornadoes. And then we move off onto Thursday, and this is where things are going to start kind of getting a little bit weird. I actually fully anticipate this to be shifted not only further north, but north and east, so maybe even portions of the Dakotas all the way down into central portions of the Central Plains. That might be something to watch out for as that progresses from Wednesday into Thursday, because what happens on Thursday will depend upon what happens on Wednesday, you know, kind of like the domino effect, more or less. And so that's kind of what we got there. And of course, we'll continue to watch out for that as that continues to get closer and closer towards that day. We will show you guys the simulated radar here for the next 2 days. Starting off with today, you can see we got a lot of scattered showers and thunderstorms over near the Houston area. That will continue to move on through into the early evening and maybe even overnight hours. And then you start to see this massive line of convergence here over across the Mississippi-Ohio River Delta. That'll continue to persist all the way through into the overnight hours, past midnight, maybe even further into tomorrow morning. So something to watch out for with that. Meanwhile, in the northwest into the Rockies, a lot of precipitation across the board, so maybe some flash flooding is possible, especially since this is kind of day one of many into which you're probably going to get a lot of showers and thunderstorms. So if there is any sort of drought-like conditions that were in these areas before, they definitely are going to be alleviated by a bit more of that flash flooding concern. So something to watch out for with that. As we move off into Tuesday, we have a bit of a storm complex over here in the portions of southern Nebraska and northern Kansas that's going to move on through. That'll create some strong damaging winds. Mainly that, maybe some spotty hail. Can't rule out a tornado or two, but I mean, you can kind of start to see a little bit of a bowing characteristic indicating we have a lot of strong damaging winds on the backside, a rear inflow jet that's kind of kicking it right in the middle and creating that arc. So kind of something to note with all that. And then you're also going to see what will be a massive barrage of thunderstorms that are going to pop out of here as quickly as they you know, kind of show up on the map. Look at this. A lot of showers and thunderstorms across the board. Once again, not really anticipating too much from it. I don't think it'll be anything more than a wind and hail threat. But then as we move on through from Tuesday into Wednesday, this is when things start to kind of become really interesting. We note that we're here on Wednesday afternoon, and we have a couple showers and thunderstorms that begin to kind of form in the area to watch. As this continues to move on through, though, you kind of see a big line of showers and thunderstorms that really begin to develop from a low pressure system that's going to be digging on through. This is going to be the first in a while since we've actually had a low pressure system with a trough digging on through the United States. So this will more than likely set up for a tornado threat that'll be localized along the western plains heading off towards the Rockies. That'll be something to watch out for as that continues to materialize. And then as this moves on through from Wednesday into Thursday, you see our low pressure system still spinning up here into portions of the northern Rockies. Will begin to create a new batch of showers and thunderstorms right here along this cloud base. And this is going to be more where I anticipate our severe weather here on Thursday, contrast to what the Storm Prediction Center says. Hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit more clarity from that, whether it's from the models or from the Storm Prediction Center. Still, that is something to kind of continue to monitor day by day as that continues to move on through. But regardless, there's Thursday afternoon into Thursday night, multiple bands of showers and thunderstorms that start to surge across portions of the northern plains heading into the Midwest. That'll be something to monitor for more of a wind, maybe tornado threat as that moves off towards the north and east. We also have some scattered showers and thunderstorms to kind of monitor. Might be a bit more of a hail and wind threat over across portions of the Mississippi River. So something to kind of note for people over there. Now, I mentioned this is more of a trough ejection that's going to be moving on through. And you can kind of see that low pressure system over Northern California here as we progress into this evening now. And you'll see a lot of this wind shear here that is just going to continue to kind of build over and over again. And this is what really has been feeding a lot of our showers and thunderstorms. This continuous river of our jet stream that has just been planted right over the middle of the United States. But this will change, and as this continues to move on through, one low pressure system moves on through, digs up north. The second one will begin to form, and that one would be a little bit more of an impact towards people in the central portions of the United States. So watch this, a little bit more intense, if you will, with our wind shear at 500 millibars. So our jet stream is starting to kind of indicate a little bit more of a stronger trough that is going to move off through the United States. And by the time we get from Wednesday into Thursday, you can see the wind shear continuously beginning to intensify more and more as we get towards the latter stages of the week. So definitely something to watch out for with all of that. We also have a plethora of moisture across the board in this entire area. We'll look at what's happening today, and you can see we've got a lot of moisture here across portions of the central to eastern United States. But watch this. As we go from today to tomorrow, even into Wednesday and Thursday, look at how much moisture return is actually being channeled into the central portions of North America. And I say North America because it's going all the way up to Canada too. So potential for maybe some cold core severe storms, maybe heading off into Thursday. It could potentially be possible for the border of Canada and the United States. We're talking the southern prairies to potentially see something knocking on their door over there. But in all actuality, it seems to be more of a northern plains into the upper Midwest style of event. Maybe central plains as well could potentially see some of that activity. So definitely something that we're going to watch out for. As far as energy is concerned, there's going to be a plethora of it. I mean, we're starting to get into the heart of May, heading off into, summer, the summer season. And we usually don't have an issue with energy once we get into summer. I mean, the convective available potential energy will just be absolutely off the charts in some spots. And this is no different. I mean, we've got some areas and upwards about 5,000 to 5,500 joules per kilogram of CAPE in some of these areas. So there is a lot of energy. I mean, for reference, realistically, in some instances, all you need is about 1,000 to 1,500 to really get sustained supercells. So that is what we have here. Strong storms that could potentially form into supercells. As a matter of fact, they probably will continue to sustain into some of those supercells. But I just want to point out the areas that we were talking about for the potential tornado risk. So we have Montana, Wyoming, heading into Colorado, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and the Dakotas. We do have a little plume of CAPE that is over 2,000 joules per kilogram. And if those storms form along that plume, you're definitely going to get sustained activity. So something to watch out for with that on Wednesday. Heading off into Thursday, this is going to be really interesting because this is when stuff starts to become a lot more widespread as well. We're talking Thursday afternoon, and we once again have that giant plume of energy across the board to where thunderstorms can actually form or sustain. So this is going to be something to watch out for. Regardless of what happens, I'm anticipating at least a storm. I know that sounds very confident, Nate. But I do think at some point we are going to see some severe weather within both of those events on Wednesday and Thursday. And because of that, we're probably going to have to live stream the fact that there could potentially be tornadoes. Now, I want to talk about that real quickly because as we end this video off, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update as to what is happening. I also want to give you guys an update as to what is happening with the channel. Heading into May and to the rest of summer, I'm going to be going back to my roots. I'm going to try and live stream every 5%, but it's not going to be likely every 5%. And I'll further explain. I'm actually going to try and live stream every tornado watch. So if a 5% is there from the Storm Prediction Center, but it's just a severe thunderstorm watch, I won't live stream it because it won't be that significant. But if it's a 5% tornado risk and it does include a tornado watch within it, then I'm more than likely going to be live streaming. Now, of course, there is some exceptions. If there is a PDS severe thunderstorm watch, then obviously I'm going to be on that as well. But for the most part, it will have to contain at least some form of tornado risk in order for me to live stream, because at that rate, I would probably have to cover every single severe weather risk, and that's not beneficial to me, and that's not beneficial to you all, and I want to try and continue to uphold the standard of me trying to make sure that you guys know everything you need to know whenever there is a tornado threat ongoing. So that's the plan for the channel. Hopefully you guys understand, and hopefully I see you guys more often here as we get further and further into the heart of tornado season heading off into summer. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications, share this with friends and family on social media. Join this live stream. There is going to be a link in the chat for you guys to join, all right? This is going to be fun. At least for me it is. It'll definitely be for Morgan because I will cry at some point. We are not going to get what we want, and because of that, it's just going to be a bit disappointing. But please, please, please join this live stream. If you are okay with some cursing, then you should be completely fine with this stream. It should be fun. It should be entertaining. We're even going to call the Oiler Golden Knight game afterwards, so I'll be able to tell you guys all about hockey and stuff like that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.